Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for April 13th, 2021 from Luke chapter 14, Salt. Jesus gives another parable, this time a little bit of a shorter one, from Luke chapter 14, beginning with verse 34. Salt is good, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It is of no use either for the soil or for the manure pile. It is thrown away. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. So, what is Jesus trying to teach us? Is there a benefit to salt? In today's world, I will admit, this would probably be a good debate. There are some who think that, yeah, you can add a lot of salt, and then there are some who notice that salt is not necessarily good for the body. We like the taste, but the body somehow just doesn't really want that much of it. So what is Jesus trying to teach us? Jesus here is using salt as a comparison. So we got to start with the idea that salt is a seasoning for food. But if salt has lost its taste, then it's no good. And so let's compare salt with the gift of God of faith. So what happens if we lose God's gift of faith? Well, Jesus would say, then we are thrown away, using the words of Jesus. Faith brings us into a relationship with God for eternity. That means we'll be with Him in heaven. But if we don't have faith, then we don't have a relationship with God, and that means we're going to be thrown away into the depths of hell. So Jesus again is teaching us the importance of faith and how we should not give it up, but cling on to that faith and nurture that faith. Because if salt loses its flavor, can salt be restored? Again, the answer is no. But if we lose our faith, can we get it back? You got to remember, faith is a gift. It's a gift from God, so I am not in control of it. It's got to be given to me from God. So the moral of this story, hang on to and nurture the gift of faith that God has given you. By the way, this also leads to the other use for salt, which is a preservative. So let's go to the Old Testament for this one, where God, through Moses, instructs the people in Leviticus chapter 2, verse 13. You shall season all your grain offerings with salt. You shall not let the salt of the covenant with your God be missing from your grain offering. With all your offerings you shall offer salt. So practically, salt, we got to remember, is also a preservative, keeping fresh the grain offering. Besides, you really don't want to offer God a moldy grain offering, do you? You only want to offer the best offering. But we also need to think that this salt is a preservative which keeps it lasting longer. And that's kind of that little connection to faith. Because that's what faith does for us. It makes us last longer, so to speak. We won't be thrown into the depths of hell, but we will last for eternity with God in heaven above. So while our doctors may encourage us to cut back on our salt in our food, we don't want to cut back on our faith because we need that faith. It is a gift from God, and we also need to nurture that faith. How? By being attached to God's holy word. God's peace and many blessings be with you, and thank you for listening, and please take an opportunity to share this message with others. If you have enjoyed these daily devotions, please consider making a donation to Peace Lutheran Church, 24024 West Main Street, Plainfield, Illinois, 60544. Thank you again for listening.